Hello guys, Screezilla here, how are you going? Now I'm just doing a little video here on our Warthunder, as you can probably see, just on the, basically how to bomb. I've seen a lot of people, sort of, well, let's say, mess up bombing lately. Not working together, not sort of cooperating, and not really helping out with the bombing situation. Now, we all know bombers in Warthunder are pretty rough. You're going to spend most of your time on fire, crashing to the ground. So bring your parachutes with you, because you're going to want them. But bombers can actually be really useful. We can win games, we can do a lot of damage to the enemy. We can destroy their tickets, and we can make them panic, we can make them lose their positioning. Now, here I am in a random battle. Innistra here was just somebody I met. He just came on and we just said, alright, should we do formation? Absolutely did it. There's a B-17 over there that decided, no, going to dive and just go straight for some points, which most bombers do. It's one of the big problems for me for bombers, is people dive and try to get a quick couple of points, and then they complain that they're on fire and being blown up, and oh my god, Russian bias, I can't kill a Russian plane. Bombers are very hard. I mean, the American bombers are a lot easier than the British bombers, for sure, because you've got a lot more armaments, you've got a lot more firepower, you've got more chances of defending yourself against any plane. Whereas the British bombers, we've only got, of course, our rear guns, front guns, top guns. A couple of them do have some belly guns. One of the Wellingtons and also the Sterlings have a small gun in this placement here, just for people that are flying underneath them towards them. It's really ineffective. It's just a 12mm Browning, which does nothing against the enemy. You're better off throwing your rocks at them. Although saying that, I did just kill a BF 190 in my Lancaster, which is very rare to happen. If you're going to take for your turrets, you'll want to take armor-piercing bullets. I find they work the best, and you have the best chance of actually doing damage to any planes that come near you in that. I found a lot of the times with the universal bullets, they really don't do anything. You don't get much penetration, things like that. Whereas the armor-piercing will damage engines and causes a lot of damage if they hit the engine compartment, which again makes people just have that little moment of doubt and panic, which is really helpful. So another main thing for bombers to remember is don't just charge in. As you can see here, we're going all the way to around about E7 on this map. It's generally what I like to do. You do get a few fighters coming out scouting the area, so there is a chance you will get blown down, and I'm sure when some fighters watch this video they'll go, oh, that's a good idea, let's go and fight the bombers. So it's probably not a good idea me doing this video. But it does help actually. Most of your fighters go to the middle. As you can see here, the main sort of level of dogfighting is right in the middle here, which always happens. It's good to have fighters go to the middle because it draws the enemy to the middle, which again draws them away from us, which is good. It's a bit boring flying a bomber, of course, because you do just do a lot of flying. Not very often you actually do any damage to anything. Because generally, as I say, you're shot down. But this video is not about being shot down, this is about how to actually get a bomb load off and do the job properly, win a game for your team. Because at the end of the day, that's what bombers are here for. You might have a really bad day where your fighters get shot down quite quickly, or they're having an epic battle in the middle, but they're losing, they're having problems, or you might just have one lone plane left from the enemy team that's really hard to find, and it's far away or it's in space, so it's going to take a couple of hours to get to it, of course. So in those situations, bombers become really handy, because you've got something that can win a match for you. Now I'm just going to speed up the video a little bit here, just because, as you can see, it's not really going to be much happening here. On this flight I don't actually get attacked, which is really handy. We just fly in formation, which is just gorgeous. Seeing two Lancasters in formation is just beautiful. I do wish they did have more night battles, and you could choose night battles as a sort of option here. would be really, really handy because it would make the game much more fun for bombers. So as you see here, we're just flying around the outside. I just had to do a quick break there, so we're just going to come in now. So with the two of us in formation, it makes it a lot easier because you can actually destroy a base with two Lancasters. We're both carrying the 1000-pounders, so we carry 14 of these, which is the big advantage of the British bombers over the Americans because we have a much higher payload. With the American bombers, you tend to have a lot less payload, which means you can't do as much damage, of course. But as I say, on the flip side, they can take out enemy planes, whereas we can't. So in this bomb run, we take out the 3 bases in formation. I'm going for the first base, and Instra here is going to go for the second and third base. Now, with a bomb run, you just got to be careful of flak. That's probably the thing that kills most bombers, because people are going a bit too low. You want to be around about 3,000 meters. Gives you a good advantage over the flak. You tend not to die at that altitude. You do get the odd one, which is quite unlucky, but it's very rare that you get a hit that kills you at 3,000. Keep nice and level, keep nice and straight, and also aim your plane at the bomb location. Another thing that's really important is get your weapon maintenance on crew skill leveled up quite quickly. It makes it a lot easier for bombing. I would say your AI gunners as well are quite useful, but go weapon maintenance because your bombs are your main thing you're going to be needing. The more weapon maintenance you have, the less spread of your bombs you have, so the more accuracy you have at higher altitude. You will find when you start out the game with bombers, you tend to have very poor accuracy, and that's because with the bombs you tend to have quite a lot of spread. So let's zoom in here and go to the base. Now at about 3,000 meters, you tend to have about 5-10 second delay between dropping the bombs and them hitting. So you will drop them quite a bit before the base, and you'll have a little bit of time to get away from the area before the bombs go off. In this map actually, the two furthest bases from my location here are quite good because when you do hit them, you hit them sort of in quick succession, and generally the enemy don't know until the bombs go off. There's a couple of good maps for bombers as well. Norway is probably my favourite now, and you'll hear the bombers trying to call out to go to the right base as quick as possible because it's covered in a AAA guns. When your bombs hit it, you generally get a huge score. So we'll see here, the bombs will come down any minute now, and you'll see a good spread of the bombs. There we go. So all 3 hit nice and central. Now centre is the most important area. You want to hit centre as much as possible, because if you hit centre, you're going to get a much better result. It just gives you more chance. Now Cheetos here comes in just to keep us sort of company, give us a little bit of protection. We sort of said what was happening. We had a couple of fighters sort of hover around close to us just to keep us a little bit safe, because it is tough being a bomber. You do get hit quite a lot. So if you can get a person to help you out, it is really, really handy. So Insta here is going to drop the next bomb load on the bases. So he's lining up really well here, and then the bombs will hit nice and central. And he's going to go for the furthest base as well, while I do a loop around and then aim up for the airfield. Now this is the next thing people get wrong, airfield bombing. This can win a game quite easily. People say, oh, you need, I think somebody said to me once, you need 20,000 pounds of bombs to destroy an airfield, and that's not true. There goes his bombs. It's really not true. You only need probably about 10,000–11,000 pounds of bombs to destroy most airfields if you hit close enough to the centre and hit the runway properly. Now, one of the other things I'll let you know is with bases, generally they take 1.5 damage, which is about 2,500 pounds of bomb damage. So if you're carrying 1,000-pounders, you drop 3 bombs. If you're carrying anything else, you work that out. So it sort of works out in that sort of area. The 500-pound bombs are quite useful because that way you can hit more accurately. You don't use as many bombs, but of course you do carry a lot more bombs, and there's a lot more chance of spread with them. So we're going to do a turnaround in just one moment, and as you can see just over there, the enemy airfield. Now, enemy airfields are really well defended, especially if a plane's landed on them. The AAA fire is really, really rough from them. The main thing is to get lined up properly on it. Lining up on an airfield is one of the harder things to do, because generally you've got enemy fighters around. You see here there's a FW-190 sort of coming in close, but luckily we've got a lot of fighter support now, and we're going to be pretty much safe. So, just speeding up again, just to get us a little bit closer so the video doesn't run too long. And here we come. So, with my approach here, I'm just coming in sort of to the side of it, and I'm going to do a sharp turn to the left, do a nice bank roll turn. Now, always good to know, don't drop your bombs on a bank roll, because they will spread really badly. You've got to make sure your plane's reasonably flat to get it in there. Now, lining up perfectly on the field. Okay, switch to free camera, and we'll go down towards the airfield. So, you see the little red cross here? Well, the red number. That's your life of the airfield. It's also a good area to target. Generally, if you're in cloud cover, that's the only thing you can see. Now, if you know the airfield, you know the approach. If you don't, you might want to drop below cloud cover to hit it. So, the Lancasters are flying above, quite high, and here comes the bombs. Now, all of them hit nice and centrally, and as you can see, everyone that hits on the centre of the base does a huge amount of damage. That's game one for the bombers. Just 2 Lancasters, you can completely win the game, and it saved us a lot of time. It also scored us a lot of points for the bombers, and of course gave us the research and things that we needed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you need any sort of answers to questions, please post them in the comments below, and I'll try and help you out the best I can. My main bit of knowledge is in British bombers, I'll let you know that. I've not done too much flying in any other bombers yet. So yeah, please post comments and let me know. Thank you, hope you have a great day, and this is Screezilla out.